What's good, TMG fam? It's your boy Ellen. I'm back with another reaction video, man. How y'all feel? Welcome back to the channel. Salute, man. Listen, today we're about to get into a dope video, bro. All the videos dope. I don't even know why I just said that, but anyway, all the videos be dope. But this video is gonna be people you don't want to mess with, all right? I always tell people, man, you better start assuming that people know a lot more than you think they know as far as fighting wise. You know what I'm saying? You never know who's a UFC fighter, who's trained in jiu-jitsu, who's trained in martial arts. You don't know who's trained in what, man. So you better be careful of how you approach people, and you better assume that they know just as much as you know, if not more. You know what I mean? So keep that in mind. You should always keep that in mind. And I'm pretty sure this video is gonna validate what I'm saying, all right? So we're about to get into these videos of people you don't want to mess with. If you're new to the channel, hit the subscribe button, man. Join the fam, and let's get to it.
You don't want to mess with. These super tough contenders are the kind of people who've dedicated their lives to becoming the most skilled, athletic, or just all-around powerful people in any room they walk in.
Hold on, my mouse acting up. What in the world? Crazy, man. As soon as you can't go to the stores and stuff, now your electronics want to act up.
There aren't many people who could easily take them on, and today we're going on a journey to get better acquainted with some of these hardcore humans. Not just to marvel at their abilities and physiques, but also so you know not to ever get on their bad side if you come across them.
I'm hard-headed though, I'll still try you. I'm hard-headed.
Ready to have your mind blown by some serious displays of skill and strength? Let's get it on! Blessing Owodobu. When it comes to keeping an online following entertained, nobody can top the antics of Blessing Owodobu. The Irish influencer wasn't satisfied with just his 2 Arnold Classics and 4 International Federation of Bodybuilding titles, and so Instagram was where he turned. Amassing an ardently following of a few thousand can usually be attained by anyone with a good enough physique, and at 245 pounds of lean muscle, Owodobu has without a doubt got that under his belt. But to get into the millions like Blessing, you've gotta have a little something extra to keep people invested. The bodybuilding Adonis regularly creates loads of gut-busting sketches and viral videos that garner millions of global views, like the time he realized there was a CCTV camera recording him at the grocery store and took to flexing his competitive poses for the enjoyment of whomever was monitoring the feed. Still, having a sense of humor isn't at all going to confuse anyone watching these videos. Just because Blessing Owodobu can and will make you laugh, I'm in love with his Brody. There's no mistaking that this man is
Yo, why is he laying? Why are you in a tub with all this protein powder on you, bro? That let me know you sick in the head.
An absolute beast. And with a build like his, nobody is going to try making him the butt of the joke anytime soon. Gugu Guru. Gugu Guru is a man who walks around calling himself a ninja, and there is nobody on earth who would dare to tell him otherwise. As a young boy,
what kind of combination was that? Fam!
His parents signed him up for Taekwondo classes, and he's never looked back since. But of course, you don't make this list for being satisfied with mastering just one martial art, and Giga went on to master Thai boxing, karate, and Krav Maga. Following his dream of being a true ninja, Giga got into gymnastics and parkour and has crafted his own fighting style, the flashy one with all the flips you're seeing on your screen right now, out of his vast pool of skills to create a very unique and very deadly style all his own. Guru
Yeah, imagine spilling a drink on him in the club one night and be like, yo bro, my bad, I said my bad, now get out my way. And then you swing on him. And then the next day you wake up and you're in the hospital and you got like mad broken bones and concussions, and you like, how? I believe he'll put so many moves on you in an amount of seconds before you could even realize you've been hit that many times.
shows that the human body can be pushed to unthinkable limits with enough determination, as you can see with him punching a concrete floor and a tree like they're just simple punching bags without even flinching. Unless you're tougher than concrete, I'd say it's best to steer clear of messing with Gugu Guru. Ong Bak in real life. When people want to learn to fight, they usually hit something soft to get warmed up, like a punching bag or a training dummy. But Tony Jaa is not some people. No. In fact, he's a Muay Thai master who prefers hitting tree trunks and bending steel beams with his kicks over something as simple as a punching bag. Jaa makes a living through his mastery over the martial art, working in movies and TV shows as a stunt double and fight choreographer for action scenes. And it's not hard to see why casting directors pick him for their roles. But believe me, these videos of him training are far from movie magic. Oh no, they're the real deal. Tony Jaa can do that in real life, and that's what he can do to a tree. Imagine what would happen if he were to punch you. No thank you. I'm alright never knowing what that tree just went through. The video is more than enough for me to know that you should never try any funny business with this Muay Thai master. Martin Ford. If you're a casting director looking for someone to fill the role of a very scary, very big dude who looks like he rips people's heads off for breakfast, one look at Martin Ford and your search could not be over more quickly. It isn't hard to see where the British bodybuilder got his nicknames Nightmare, Hulk, and perhaps most fittingly, the Beast. I mean, just look at him. With his massive physique and intimidating tattoos, this is the guy you'd want to hire if you're in the market for a bodyguard. Either way, be sure not to let that fool you, because Martin Ford has another nickname that he's very well earned: the scariest man on earth. On top of his extreme passion for bodybuilding, Ford can really move, and he's slated to make a debut in mixed martial arts according to some sources. I'd hate to be the guy they put up against him though, because I'm smart enough to know
I ain't always gonna say that, because I used to think that, but rest in peace Kimbo Slice and Brock Lesnar proved to me, man, size and power and muscle ain't all it's cracked up to be. In that sport of the UFC, man, it takes a lot more. So just automatically thinking because you got size and you got power and strength that you just gonna beat somebody. No, I learned that, man, but that's not always the case.
Martin Ford is someone you should never ever mess with. J.D. Anderson. In the world of bodybuilding, strongmen stand out as some of the most fearsome contenders the world has to offer. And even among strongmen, J.D. Anderson is revered on a whole nother level. The strongman has pulled off some absolutely inhuman feats as nothing more than a warm-up, such as snapping baseball bats in half or rolling up steel frying pans with his bare hands. But that's just JD getting started. I mean, what does this guy even eat to have power like that? Oh, phone books, I guess. But if somehow that isn't enough to show you that you should not be messing with this guy, then let me tell you about JD Anderson's very cool nickname, the Iceman. No, it isn't because he ices people, although he very clearly could if he wanted.
I think I remember seeing this. He did like a football charge into like some ice blocks.
Wanted to. Instead, Anderson holds a very unique world record, one for breaking the most solid slabs of ice with his head.
My question is, what the hell?
Now just imagine if your body were these blocks.
No! God, please, no! No!
Edward Hawthorne. As a police officer in Pittsburgh, Pennsylvania, and veteran of the United States Armed Forces, it's definitely a good thing that this dude is on our team. Because with physical prowess like his, he could—
That's all core too. Something I gotta work on. Core is like, it's like horrible. It's horrible. But that's all core, man. To have that much control and to be able to move around and everything, that's a lot of core, bro.
Could very well be a straight up supervillain. While sadly there doesn't seem to be any footage of Edward taking down criminals, there's plenty of clips of his insane workouts, and well, you can just let your imagination fill in the blanks. I mean, do you really want to run from a cop who can chase you just as quickly on his hands as on his feet? Most criminals probably just turn themselves in when they find out Officer Hawthorne is on their case, because not even the most hardened thug can hope to challenge—
Oh, look at that! Bro, that's like excellent core, fam. Excellent core. Yeah, man. See, if the gyms was open, that's me already about to lie. Listen at me. If the gyms was open, then I'd be in there and my core would be like that. I'm lying. When the gyms was open, I wasn't in there. I ain't have enough time.
Challenge the world's most fit police officer. Many of his co-workers have even taken to calling him the super cop, and it's easy to see why. We're happy to say that with a real-life superhero watching their backs, the people of Pittsburgh can rest easy. But I can't exactly say the same for the Outlaws. Yves Salmachi. Of all the ancient warriors throughout history, the ninja has always been arguably the most entrancing of them all.
That used to be me, man. As a kid, every Halloween, every chance I get, I wanted to be a ninja.
Near legendary mastery over stealth and incredible skills in hand-to-hand and weapon-based combat, it's no wonder why someone like Isao Machi would dedicate their lives to becoming the ultimate modern embodiment of the ninja. Among his incredible displays of swordsmanship are his various world records, including the most martial arts katana cuts to a tatami mat, a mat with a density comparable to human bone, as well as the fastest 1,000 martial arts sword cuts. On top of all that, he also holds the record for the fastest sword swing in the world. In 2013, Isao shocked the world by cutting a flying bullet in half. Reacting to a BB gun fired directly at him in time to cut it required a reaction speed of over 158 kilometers per hour. If you're ever going to pick a fight, believe me, Isao Machi has more than proven he is the wrong opponent to mess with. Half-Bjord Julius Bjornsson. With a name like Half-Bjord, you should already expect this man to be something of a demigod. In case this is somehow your first time on the internet after living under a rock for a decade.
What did you say?
Half-Bjord played the Mountain in the HBO series Game of Thrones.
And I still have yet to watch that series. I have yet to watch that series.
And, well, I think you can see why they'd cast him for a character with that name. Half-Bjord is an absolute giant, measuring in at 6'9" and weighing an unbelievable 441 pounds of pure muscle. And as of 2019, he can add strongest man alive to his already very impressive resume. In order to maintain his Norse godlike physique, Bjornsson takes in an unbelievable 10,000 calories a day, or the equivalent of 18 Big Macs. When he isn't acting or training to be the literal strongest man on the planet, Half-Bjord likes scenic walks through his native home of Iceland. It's nice to see that someone that fearsome has a softer, gentler side, but definitely don't let that confuse you. He is not someone you would ever want to get on the wrong side of, because it's a pretty big side. Tony Manette. If you've ever considered a life of crime, I think this next absolute beast of a cop might make you think twice. Meet Tony Manette, the Miami-born Marine who sends terror down the spines of criminals everywhere. Tony enlisted in the Marine Corps straight out of high school and showed such prowess in combat that he was put into an elite mission squad, with whom he carried out special operations all over the world. Once he retired from the military though, Tony hadn't quite seen enough action, and he decided to become a police officer, and well, let's just say he wasn't giving out parking tickets for long. With his elite background, the extreme Marine was quickly promoted to running SWAT teams, contending with some of the most dangerous law enforcement operations around without breaking a sweat. Tony is a master of several forms of martial arts and competes in MMA tournaments regularly, as well as being a special operations weapon expert, meaning he can
Imagine seeing him on live PD and some of these dudes trying to run or fight back. It would be a bad day for them, fam. Yo.
take you down from long or short range. He even won Officer of the Year in Miami. To be fair, if this was the cop coming after me, I'd probably just turn myself in, because I definitely wouldn't be able to sleep ever again. Tim Man. There are plenty of skilled martial artists all over the world, but Tim Man stands out as a true warrior among the rest. Born in Switzerland, Tim started training martial arts at the young age of 8, and he never looked back. He's mastered a handful of different styles since then, including Taekwondo, Wushu, American, and Thai boxing. Placing third as the reigning Taekwondo champion in his home country of Switzerland should be...
Golly, he looked like the fighter off of, what was the movie? With Boyka, is it Boyka? Is it Undisputed? I think it's Undisputed. Undisputed. I think it might be Undisputed. But he looked like the fighter that Boyka fought at the end.
More than enough to convince most people that this is not someone they want to be messing with. After developing a fascination with Hong Kong-based martial arts films, Tim began studying gymnastics and acrobatics, as well as starting a career in cinema himself. It wasn't long before his hard work and talent got noticed, and it wasn't long before Tim officially got to live out his dreams of working full-time in cinema and perfecting his unmatched martial arts skills. Psst, hey, you still there? Well, since you made it this far, here are all the shoutouts we promised everyone that commented on our previous video. If you want to be shouted out,
let's keep it going. Let's see some more people.
there are some people in this world who you never want to get on the wrong side of. While on the outside, some of these people may be friendly or calm, don't let that confuse you. Some of them have spent their entire lives working to become the biggest, the baddest, or the most skilled people in the world. And no matter how tough you think you are, trust me, they can take you. So, while you wouldn't want to mess with these incredible examples of human excellence, that doesn't mean their exploits won't absolutely blow your mind. Ready to meet these incredible people? Well, let's get it on. Sir,
That's something I don't know if I believe or not. That whole better nails, laying on better nails. I've seen people lay on better nails and motorcycles roll over top of them, or somebody may hit them with something. Like, I don't know, man. I just find that hard to believe.
Sergey Cyrilnikov. However Sergey Cyrilnikov arrived at the ideas for his insane viral videos, I'll never understand. But I'm very glad that he did, because they're some of the craziest things I've ever witnessed. Just to name a few of the seemingly impossible feats of raw strength and power he's shown off, Sergey has pulled a 180-ton train with his body alone, flipped through iron chains and padlocks just by flexing his muscles, kept not one, but 2 planes from taking off with just his arms, and that's barely scratching the surface. Whether or not he'll ever find something he can't do is yet to be determined, but the Kazakhstan phenomenon has certainly proven that he's pretty much the closest thing we've got to a real-life superhuman walking around right now. Through his tireless training and thirst to perform unthinkable feats, Sergey has gotten at least 4 world records under his belt, which he claims he only started breaking ironically, making a joke out of taking the rankings away from athletes who train their entire lives to earn them. In case you can't tell, anyone who sets world strength records as a joke is probably someone you should go far out of your way to never upset. Islam Badurgov. If you've ever been lucky enough to score a quick selfie with the UFC notorious Conor McGregor, then I might have some bad news for you. The person in your photo, while he might have the same tattoos, build, and hair color, may actually have been professional McGregor impersonator Islam Badurgov. Of course, not just anyone can impersonate one of the most skilled fighters on the planet.
And he getting the tattoos drawn on. Yo, y'all gotta stop.
Get away with it. In order to be able to pull off his pranks, Islam really does have to train incredibly hard to have a body that someone would mistake for the Irish champions. He spends most of his time doing street workouts and calisthenics, and he's at the point where he makes absurdly hard tricks, like the muscle up and flag pull seem easy as pie. While we're not sure if Conor is aware of his very popular lookalike, it's pretty safe.
Conor don't even know about this. How you go around impersonating somebody and they don't even know?
To say that anyone confident enough to risk stealing the image of one of the best fighters on earth is probably not someone you'd ever want to go toe-to-toe with. Thomas Wu.
The thing about that is, man, you start doing it so much that he probably forgets who he is, as he probably really thinks he's Conor.
Boxing is a dangerous sport that requires a combination of talent and training to become any good at. And Thomas Wu seems to have hit the jackpot on talent. At just 21 years old, Wu was known to many as the fastest puncher in the world, after he created a nearly impossible to replicate online trend called the floating ball challenge, which, if you can't tell by the name, involves punching a ball fast enough to keep it spinning in midair. Not just the speed of Thomas's fists, but their precision and control show that he was born for this sport, which he says he actually got into by accident when looking for a way to gain some hip mobility to help with his baseball career. 8 years of training later, and he's worlds ahead of athletes that have been training for twice as long, with 4 national championship titles to his name. Thomas claims that his current goal is to head to the Olympics and be crowned the best boxer in the world. And with hands so fast that his Instagram videos look like they're on fast forward, that goal doesn't seem all that far-fetched. Diamond Ott.
Imagine that. Imagine him hitting you, you going days, and then he just unloads on your face for like 10 seconds straight. Bro, how do you even, speed is dangerous in boxing. That's what made Floyd so good. That's what made Roy Jones so good. The speed that they had was just unmatched, man. Muhammad Ali, his speed, you know what I mean? Power is another thing too, but when you have that speed to where you can catch somebody real quick, it's deadly, it's dangerous.
There are over 1.3 million men and women enlisted in the United States military, each trained to stay at peak physical and mental performance year-round, which makes it all the more impressive to find out that the first Sergeant Diamond Ott is widely known as the strongest soldier. Looking at his wild and creative workouts though, it begins to become clear that Diamond has muscles as hard as, as Diamond. Many people can't even manage a pull-up, but Ott performs spinning acrobatic ones with ease, can hold huge plates up with nothing but his core, and obviously doesn't suffer from the common problem of being big with no flexibility. He can even do dips with 245 pounds or more than his own body weight strapped to his waist, and that's not some personal record, that's just a regular part of his everyday routine. That is an absurd accomplishment. Add on to that wild level of strength and coordination his decade and a half of tactical military training, and this guy can more than likely take down any opponent he comes across in a few hundred different ways. After 16 years of service, Diamond has no intention of slowing down and continues pushing his mental and physical limits in service to his country, and maybe just a little bit for his Instagram followers.
Yo, you saw what he was just doing back there?
To his country, and maybe just
this right here is crazy.
Just a little bit for his Instagram followers.
Dang!
Vito Pirbazzari. With his ironclad musculature, deep-set expressions, and truly intimidating demeanor, German bodybuilder and actor Vito Pirbazzari certainly cuts an imposing figure. And I suppose that's why he was cast for his fearsome role in Dogs of Berlin. If you're tricked by that though, that just means he's very good at his job, because Vito is one of the nicest guys around. The German giant dedicates himself to showing off his workout and diet routines, both incredibly important ingredients for maintaining his trademark tough guy look.
See, that's the part that gets me every time, man. It's the diet. It's the diet, man. That's where I be falling off. The diet. Some of this food just don't, man, when they can start making the food to where it's healthy, but it just tastes so good, I'd be a lot better off, man. I don't, that's what I start sometimes, I'm good, but then it's like some days, man, I fall off. And when I fall off, I fall hard. I fall off hard.
With his fans on his rapidly growing social media. Still, judging by the way he knocks around a punching bag, I still wouldn't want to get on his bad side. Yevgeny Los. When you see someone with a physique this insane, it should be obvious that you wouldn't want to catch them on a bad day. But just in case you're feeling unsure, just watch how hard Yevgeny Los can swing a hammer. Yeah, if that tire were your head, you'd be having a pretty hard time. Thankfully though, this Belarusian behemoth is much more likely to be saving your life than threatening it. Yevgeny works as a firefighter in Belarus and dedicates himself to working out and achieving a peak physique, as well as pursuing feat.
Like, to be able to do that, bro, that's like core again.
And dedicate
this right here
himself to working out and achieving a peak physique, as well as pursuing feats that literally nobody else on earth can complete. Oh yeah, we're talking Guinness World Records. Yevgeny holds the world record for most weighted push-ups on uneven bars performed in 1 minute, pulling off, or should I say pushing up, an unbelievable 53 weighted push-ups in just 60 seconds, absolutely obliterating the previous record of 40. Watching him work out though, this was probably just another day at the park for Yevgeny, and he claims that he's itching to pursue more calisthenic records in the—
He put his all his turnout gear on, bro, with one hand holding on to the bar. That's crazy.
Near future. Still, even though you never want to mess with Yevgeny Los, you'd definitely be relieved if he were the one rescuing you in an emergency. Karim Dugu. Usually a martial arts master will be able to defeat opponents with their hands or their feet, or reasonably even their elbows. But Karim Dugu can take on any opponent with nothing more than his shins. While most people's shins are little more than a very painful spot to bump into obstacles with, somehow Karim is insanely tough enough to actually fight with these vital weak points on most humans without showing a shred of discomfort. He's so widely skilled with his shins, in fact, that he actually holds a very unique world record. See, while mobsters use baseball bats to break people's shins, Karim uses his shins to break baseball bats. In his crazy run for a Guinness ranking, he managed to break numerous baseball bats using only his shins in 1 minute. That's more than 1 bat a second. Just watching this makes me wince in pain. But clearly Karim's years of martial arts training and probably a dash of mania keep him from feeling anything but exhilaration as he earns his very unique spot in history. And anyone with that kind of power and pain pain tolerance combined is definitely someone you never want to mess with.
Probably kick your chest through your back, man.
Misaki Iike. Karate is an ancient art meant to focus on discipline and self-defense and is never supposed to be used as a weapon. That's pretty lucky for all of us when there are karate masters like Misaki Iike out there. Iike has been practicing karate since he was a boy, but he was deemed worthy to be trained by the disciple of the founder of his style. In case you're wondering what might have made him stand out so much, take a look at what his martial arts master can do to 7.5 centimeters of solid hardwood with a single punch. That's what's known as the deadliest punch in the world, a technique honed through a lifetime of intense dedication. It's often said that Iike can shatter bones with a single blow, and he likely wouldn't have to try very hard to do it, as sometimes the master doesn't even seem to know his own strength. That was just a training shot. If you were placed up against this legendary karate practitioner in a fight, just imagine what he could do if he were serious. Thankfully, Iike is a peaceful man, more interested in helping others through his international series of dojos than hurting them. And he's actually never been in a fight outside of a dojo or competition in his life. But that's likely because everyone on Earth knows never to mess with the man with the deadliest punch on the planet. Samuel Erikson. Originally born in South Korea, Samuel Erikson found a connection to his heritage in practicing Taekwondo at 7 years old. The boy quickly found he had a knack for martial arts and began to pursue more and more styles, eventually training as an MMA fighter. Not everything was sunshine and rainbows for Samuel though, as he struggled through many personal and health-related issues in his teenage years, which ended up with him waking up in a hospital room after a particularly nasty street fight saw him knocked unconscious. It was that moment that Samuel decided to make a change, and he dedicated the next year of his life to getting better. MMA was like therapy for him, and as he started posting his videos online, people quickly took notice of his insane martial arts skills, and his follower count began to grow. Finding that his workouts were inspiring people all around the world, he trained harder and harder, saying he found his purpose in the gym. Today, he's a signed fighter in the UFC, and his unrelenting quickness and power are very plain to see in his training videos. This guy is literally paid to beat up other trained fighters. Do you really think you should mess with him?
Nope.
Yeah, I didn't think so. Hey, you still there? Well, since you made it this far, here are all the shout-outs.
That's crazy, bro. I'm telling y'all, man, be careful when you be picking your bar fights with people or running up on people and not knowing. Nah, man. Nah, you better be careful. You better assume they know all of this type of stuff. And you do that, you'll be all right, man. It's your boy L. Y'all get at me in the comment section, man. Let me know what y'all think. Leave a like, share the video, subscribe, and stay away from these people, man. Till the next reaction, I'm out. Peace. Y'all stay solid. Hey.